Welcome to the Perspective Shift, a place where we slow down and explore the quiet moments of life. I'm Steve, and I'm so glad you've joined me today. In a world that constantly pulls us in different directions, it's easy to lose sight of the beauty around us. But sometimes, the key to contentment isn't found by changing our circumstances, but by changing how we see them. Today, we'll be talking about gratitude and the art of seeing clearly. It's amazing how a simple shift in perspective can open our eyes to the richness already present in our lives. How often do we find ourselves caught in the trap of comparison? We scroll through our social feeds, seeing snapshots of others' lives, smiling faces, vacation photos, big achievements. And in those moments, it's easy to feel like we're falling behind, like we're missing something. But let's pause for a second. What if I told you that this comparison is simply a distortion, a lens that makes us focus on what's lacking instead of what's abundant? When we constantly compare ourselves to others, we overlook the beautiful things in our own lives, things that deserve to be cherished. I remember a story a friend once shared with me. She had always dreamed of traveling the world, but felt stuck in the routine of daily life: work, home, repeat. One day, she met someone who had traveled to dozens of countries but was longing for a stable home, for a sense of belonging that she, my friend, already had but never appreciated. It made her realize that sometimes what we wish for is something we already have, just in a different form. Next time you catch yourself comparing, take a deep breath and ask, what do I already have that I'm not appreciating? The answer might surprise you. In our rush to chase the next goal, the next milestone, we often overlook the small joys, the everyday miracles that quietly fill our lives. But if we take a moment to truly notice, we'll find that beauty is all around us. Think about it: the warmth of sunlight streaming through your window, the comforting smell of coffee in the morning, the sound of rain tapping gently on the roof. These aren't insignificant moments. They're the threads that weave together a life of meaning. Let's try something together. Wherever you are right now, close your eyes, unless you're driving, and take a slow, deep breath. Now listen, what do you hear? Is it the hum of life around you? The laughter of a loved one in the other room? Maybe it's just silence, and even that silence has a kind of peace to it. These little moments often go unnoticed, but they are always there, waiting for us to slow down and appreciate them. Have you ever noticed how much energy we spend thinking about what we don't have? It's like our minds are trained to zoom in on what's missing, the things we haven't achieved, the possessions we don't own, the goals still out of reach. But what if we flipped that perspective? Instead of focusing on lack, what if we started focusing on abundance? It's not about ignoring what we want to achieve or pretending everything is perfect. It's about realizing that even now, before anything changes, there is so much to be grateful for. When we start to see life through the lens of abundance, we shift from a mindset of scarcity to one of fulfillment. I encourage you to start a simple gratitude practice. Each day, write down 3 things you're thankful for. They don't have to be big things. In fact, the smaller, the better. Maybe it's the way the sun feels on your skin, or the sound of your favorite song playing. By doing this, you'll start training your mind to see abundance, even in the everyday. It's not about having more, it's about realizing that what you have is already enough. As we come to the end of today's episode, I invite you to take one more deep breath with me. Breathe in slowly and exhale. Think about one thing, just one, that you're grateful for in this moment. Hold that thought gently and let it fill you with warmth. Gratitude isn't something we practice once and forget.